My friend came over during the first week, right? Was it the first week, Steve, when Matt wasn't even there?
I don't remember. I remember it was one of those names that stuck, and I was like, we're never getting out of this Harvard of the South thing.
Yeah.
So the first person we're going to introduce, he's kind of like a bonus guest, and we're so excited that he's able to join us for a little bit, making his 27th millionth appearance on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Matt Novetsky.
Yeah. I get a gold, like a double gold jacket, like a platinum diamond jacket.
It's in the mail. Yep. Yeah. We got you the double, because I think on your 5th appearance, we actually photoshopped you into the SNL coat.
Yeah, I liked that for sure.
Yeah.
I've lost count.
So have we, but we'll go with 27 million. It seems about accurate, but we're so thrilled to have you here, at least for a little bit, Matt. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
So, and next, of course, we have the Fantabulous. I like the word Fantabulous, so I'm just going to keep using it.
Go for it.
Steve.
I dig it.
Shiltz.
Hey,
Steve. Shiltz.
Oh,
man, I gotta get a punch card. I get my first one tonight.
Yeah, you get your first. There you go.
That's
you get a free yogurt.
Ooh, is there yogurt? Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Maybe frozen yogurt.
Anyway, Steve, we're so thrilled to have you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, it's actually his second time appearing on our stream. He's the one and only Jeremy Furstenfeld.
Hey, Steve. 5 more punches, you get a free slice, my brother.
Now I'm just hungry. Man,
me too. I'm very hungry. It's dinner time.
I tried to give you the wrestling introduction, Jeremy, but I'll have to try it again later. We were just talking.
We need more music for that. It's like, hoo, hoo, hoo. And then Aces. I want to walk into Aces.
Yeah.
Seriously, is that song not so amazing? Every time, like Danica and I get to hear it now multiple times a week, and we're just like,
we literally dance to it every single time.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was dancing. I was grooving.
Moving and grooving. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this. We've been looking forward to this for a long time. I'm so thrilled that we could finally make it happen. So I guess just to kind of get things started, who first approached whom with the idea for Harvard of the South? And do you guys remember the first song that you guys actually wrote as a band?
Yes, and yes. Hey, weren't you and I, Steve, hanging out after a show at Webster Hall?
Oh, wow.
Across the street having beers. It was, this was 7 years ago.
I think more than that.
We won't say that.
Yeah.
But we were just talking about, like we should get together and make some music. Like we should get together and do something. And, originally it was, me, Justin, and Steve, we were talking and all that stuff. But yes, that was originally, it was just hanging out at a bar after a show in New York City, having a couple of beers, and
I came down to your house and I played guitar on a Blue October record.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And that we didn't do it in
America, actually.
Yeah, but we didn't do it then. That was
it was before. It was before that.
Yeah, so it was just the Blue October thing, and I remember coming down and I stayed at your house. I remember thinking, this Jeremy guy is a real swell guy, And
yeah, I think that's what made it easy for us to start talking about, like maybe we should like hang out and make some music.
Yeah, it wasn't like we were strangers. Like we already had toured together and then also worked on Blue October music together.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although let me precede that by saying Steve's band Longwave, Blue October tried to get them on our tours for many years. Right, Matt?
Here it comes. It's coming out.
I'll just put my hat over the phone.
Oh no! What just happened?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Are you still right there?
Oh, something just happened.
What happened?
I don't know.
I got you.
My computer. You still have me?
Yeah.
I can
You're
see
fine.
I can't see any of y'all. But anyway, I'll keep talking as if something never happened.
Okay.
Yeah, we tried to get Longwave on tour with us for years, and I don't think it was Longwave. I just don't think it was. Their management wasn't very excited about it.
Yeah.
I don't know where it was, but yeah, the first I ever heard about it, I was like, yeah, let's do it. These guys, they like the band, and Longwave wasn't really that busy, if I remember correctly. I have no idea, but
thank God we finally got Longwave on tour with us, because we had been playing their song "Day Sleeper" as an opening track. I mean, this was Steve. When did "Day Sleeper" come out?
2000. Well, there was an EP. It came out 2002, I think, and then the record it's on came out in 2003. So a long time ago.
So about 2004, 2005, we were using "Day Sleeper" as an intro music, and they probably never got any royalties for it.
So around 2004, 2005, maybe 2005, 2006, Longwave, the band, was having an existential crisis because we thought nobody knew who the band was. Nobody cared about the band. I started doing guitar gigs with other people. So by the time we heard that some band called Blue October wanted to take us on tour, it was like water in the desert.
Jeremy had this green Longwave shirt that he wore so much.
It was red. It was red, Matt.
Oh, it was red. No, yeah, it was green. You had a green one back in the day.
It might have turned green after
Oh,
wearing
no, you're right. It was red. You're right. But it was like, it was like, when your dad has a shirt from the 70s, it's so thin, you know what I mean? He wore it so much that it was time to change. It was time to
Matt,
change.
Guess what, Matt? I still have that shirt.
He still has a shirt.
I want to see.
There you go. I can't wear it anymore because
there's some serious fandom going on for Longwave in the band for sure.
Well, so the feeling is mutual. Eventually, when we met and we toured together, we became really good friends. Yeah. Especially initially, it was Jeremy and me that became friends.
Yes.
So yeah, and then because I didn't know you, Matt, that well on those first, just one tour, I guess we did initially. I don't remember, but we didn't really get to hang out too much. I remember the first time you picked me up at the airport to do, I think, Harvard of the South, or maybe it was Blue October. I don't remember.
No, it was Blue October.
It was Blue October, yeah.
But I was very, very uncomfortable with you, Matt. I was like, oh my God, is Matt, I don't know if he likes me. I'm coming in from out of town.
Yeah, I still haven't decided if I like you or not.
Yeah. So, well,
I heard that guy's a jerk.
I'll pick you up from the airport, though.
I was in Texas all of a sudden.
I feel really weird because I can't see any of you.
Jeremy, why don't you sign out and sign right back in?
Okay. I'll do that. It's really weird. Okay, cool.
We'll miss you.
Yeah.
I don't need you.
Everyone, but I want to get right back to this because there's good stuff here.
Okay, sounds good. We'll pause. Brief.
Okay, this is our chance to talk smack about Jeremy.
Okay.
How do we get rid of that guy?
Oh my God, he's such a jerk.
He's got that paper thin shirt. You can see right through it. He doesn't even know.
God, he kept calling and calling and calling and calling.
Oh, it's hilarious. That was great. You want to go to the Sizzler?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
I love it.
Oh.
So it was initially you and Jeremy, and then how soon after did Matt eventually get to join the project?
Well, so I went down to Jeremy's house, and it was just Jeremy and me, and I think Justin came over the one night, but we were just messing around. But Jeremy actually set up his whole living room into a makeshift studio. So neither of us had kids at that point in our lives, and so that was possible to do at that time. And we did a couple songs, just set them up, and we recorded guitar and drums, and I might have had some melody ideas. But what Jeremy told me, and he'll tell you when he comes back, is that he played the stuff to Matt, and that Matt said, "Next time you do it, let me come by, and I'll come and play." And none of this was very we didn't know when that was going to be. I think 6 months went by, or maybe more went by.
Yeah.
So this was just kind of happening, really low pressure kind of stuff. So the next time we found a time when Matt could come too. And that's, then Matt came along as well. And yeah, we did that maybe 3 times. I don't remember, Matt, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, 3 or 4, probably 4.
And then in the very end of it, at some point it was like, oh, there's enough for possibly a record here. And I went down again. And Justin, who's the singer, who's the guy on that pillow, in the back of the. He and I finished off the words, the lyrics for the record, and then I'm trying to think. I took it back and I mixed it here, not because I wanted to.
It was a really like the process was really fun because of like what you said. It was so low pressure and it wasn't like there's all these expectations or anything. It was kind of like I've heard that, and Steve, you would know better than me, but I guess Full Moon Fever was recorded where it was like they would get up in the morning and they would start a song with nothing written, and then like by the end of the day they would kind of pretty much have a song, you know, and then like they would just kind of do that over again. Like I feel like that's kind of what the process was when. At least when I came down and played, it was like, okay, let's just set up and we'll have a song in a couple hours.
Well, when I would come down there, Jeremy would have the whole room set up. The same way you're talking about, he would already have it all ready to go. And like his sweet, sweet wife would be literally stepping over my guitar amp and my guitar pedals to go like to the bathroom. And they had dogs that we'd start playing and the dogs would go like, you know, poor dogs.
Where Moose would just lay in the middle of the room, right? Like
I don't remember that. I just remember them. I remember really being an inconvenience to everybody.
The dogs or the wires?
No, everybody. Like we started playing, and like everyone run.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So at what point when you guys were like rehearsing and practicing did you realize like, oh my gosh, like we really have something here?
Man, I think it was.
You think we have something?
I'm going to go on record and say it, Steve. I think you guys got something.
Man, to me, after the first week when it was just Steve and I alone, and I took it and showed Matt. Like I remember sitting in your driveway, Matt, listening in your truck.
Yep.
I was like, I really want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And when Matt Noveskey says he wants to be a part of this.
Shit.
It was so cool.
I mean that's kind of a no-brainer though. The songs were so like
it was just music though you were listening to.
Yeah, right? but it was definitely it was just instrumental stuff for sure, but it was also like energetic and just so dynamic and just fun, you know. Sometimes when you're playing to serve the song, but sometimes when you're playing as a guitar player or a bass player, as a drummer, you're playing and you get done playing and you're like, that song is just fun to play. Like it's just fun to actually play. All of these songs are like that for me.
It wasn't until like the very end, or maybe even after the record was mixed, that I realized that every single song has a guitar solo.
Well,
which is like,
there you go.
But we were going for that. We were going for like a 90s kind of Dinosaur Junior-y kind of.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, it was fun. Like Matt said, I'm agreeing with what Matt was saying. Where it was like each one was fun to play because there were these moments like just rock time or whatever.
Yeah, you know? Just go off.
I also feel like though that there's something happens when you put dudes or people, not just dudes, but people, musicians in a room together, and they're just coming up with music. And it doesn't matter if sounds are spilling over into other mics or anything like that. Like you can either fix that later or you can't fix it later. It doesn't matter. It's the vibe that you're trying to capture. And I really think Steve, Matt, that hanging out in the living room at Moose Room 1, like we captured a vibe, and it doesn't really matter. Like we had so much fun just coming up with stuff and sounds and a basis for what eventually came this 8 year later record.
Yeah.
So I want to say, because when you said that about the room, so we finished the record in 2015 or 16, finished it. And then we decided to put it out finally. I always thought we were waiting for a space in Blue October Land to do a hot score.
Okay.
So that was what the holdup was for years. Right. And then eventually, when COVID stuff shut down happened, it was like, well, maybe it's time to put it out. And we went back and listened. And it was like, oh, maybe that one song could do this. And but what I was struck by was like, I thought I could probably mix this record better now, like better in a way. But when I listened to it, what I thought was I can hear his living room. I can hear when he hits the snare drum, boom, it goes. That's not reverb on his drums. It's not in the mix. It's the sound of his
Acoustics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I thought you could get it mixed better, but I think it does capture the sound of the 4 people or 3 people, depending on the day, in that room.
Yeah.
Well, so Steve, since you did just mention the pandemic, do you guys feel that we would have this album that was released last year? If
That
it
would
wasn't
never be
for-
released.
It wouldn't.
Maybe
No?
not. Like maybe not. Like I don't know. Like maybe not. There's always been like several months and months go by, and Steve and I would get together and talk about like, man, we should really put this album out, right? But like without this time off, like because Blue October is always crazy. Like it's always crazy, and if it's not crazy, it's like that 3 weeks you have at home that it's not crazy.
Yeah.
You don't want to spend that doing a HOTS tour necessarily. You want it to be fun when you do that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, luckily for us, luckily for Harvard of the South, this pandemic came along, which it sucks for everybody, and it sucks for Blue October. And thankfully Harvard of the South is not really a touring band. We tour with Blue October when we get the chance. So yeah, I mean, it gave us the time to like actually put this whole album out. There are a couple of songs that people haven't heard before. They probably won't hear them, right, Steve? But
I don't know if they're as good. They're not ready.
We will wait patiently. We
Just
will
another
wait.
never be ready.
Well, okay, so Jeremy, since you mentioned like the touring situation, do we think that there could ever be a super mega tour with Longwave, Icarus Bell, The Meeting Place, Harvard of the South, and Blue October? When are we getting this?
I've joked with Justin about doing a festival, like a one day in San Marcos.
I'm in.
Yes,
I love it.
I'll go.
I think it's awesome.
Sorry to hijack it, Jeremy. That has come up before.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Maybe
awesome.
we don't do it in San Marcos though. Maybe we do it in Houston or Dallas.
Well, yeah, whatever. You
I'm
guys,
good
you're
with
the Texans.
Big city.
Yeah, you just let us know where to show up. We'll be there, and that's awesome.
That's how I feel.
Lynn says that would be awesome.
What'd you say, Jeremy?
I don't know. I'm seeing these things. Oh, there's Jeannie Kelly. I'm seeing
comments.
these things.
Oh, the comments. Yes.
Comment. Yeah.
And people are agreeing. A festival, that would be rad. I think we're all in agreement. But
Hey, anyway, I can do a show with Longwave. Or we can do a show with
Me
Longwave.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I'm just gonna toot your horn for a second, Steve. That Longwave is like this band that should have been like everything any band wanted to be.
Yeah.
What an amazing band!
Oh, thanks, man.
I'm constantly referencing Longwave songs in the studio too,
Right.
all the time.
Right?
Like I'm always going back
on
and
that last record.
yeah, I that last record, I can't tell you how many times in the last few months, like if we'll be doing something, I'm like, no, and we'll go back and listen to one of those songs, and I'm like,
The latest one or the
that's-
Secrets Are Sinister one?
well, both. the latest one recently.
Dude, the latest one was done right here, like all in this room, the whole record.
magic.
You just gave your whole secret away, dude. You just like there's no more mystery. It's
Recorded
gone.
in the tiniest room possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that was. I mean, that was awesome. But I think there was some magic in the mix there too.
No, yeah. Yeah, he did a good job. We couldn't have
Especially
done it without him.
the bass, Matt.
Yep. There you go.
On that last record,
Yeah, it's gnarly. It's great. The way the bass and the drum sound together is ridiculous.
which reminds me of All Our Ashes.
Yeah. Yep.
All Our Ashes, the Harvard of the South song, the first song on the Harvard of the South record. As the person who by default ended up mixing the record, I remember listening to the song. Having the luxury of being able to take things in and out while mixing. If you took the bass out of that song, there's like nothing there.
There is.
The mix of that song, the bass is like as loud or louder than the lead vocals, which
That's
is
how it should always be, man.
Well,
I
I
remember.
agree.
I think it
It should
sounds.
be bass, Matt, snare,
And vocal somewhere. Yeah.
Awesome.
I agree.
Well, Alice in Chains, I know you have to part with us in a few minutes here, but
Yeah, I got a
maybe-
few more minutes. Yeah.
All right. Well, so one quick thing that maybe we can get everybody in on this one. So since you started as a band in about 2014, how have you evolved as a band from then until now, and especially with putting out the record now?
That's an interesting question. I mean,
Yeah.
I have something that actually occurred to me when you were talking before, Matt, because we did recorded the record before ever playing any shows.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened at some point, the Blue October 3 members of Blue October that are in Harvard of the South decided they were willing to do 2 shows a night and have me come out and we'll do Hots opening for Blue October, right? Which is no small thing because they have a crew. They have to be let them know we're not getting in anybody's way or trying to work. But so I ended up going out to do Harvard of the South shows. And what I remember, I have a couple of really great memories of doing some of those tours. And one, Matt, which I've never mentioned to you, but I know you will remember this, is at the Great American Music Hall in San Francisco. At the end of a song called Heart of Stone, which is the end of the show, there's no more vocals and it just takes off on this like psychedelic 5-minute long guitar rock out jam thing. And I remember there were 2 subs. Is that they were the bottom speakers on the PA? And I remember I looked over at you. We're playing the song. It's good. And look over at you, and we both go like, and you and I both walked out onto the things. And
so wait a minute. I remember this show, and I thought you guys talked about this before the show.
No, it just happened.
And I remember y'all both walking out on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I remember looking over. So from my perspective, I'm got my head down. I've got my amp is all the way up now. Everything's all the way up. I'm like as fast as I can play, and then I look over and there's Matt like out in the crowd, like it's jutting out into the crowd. So there's people there all around you, and you're playing away. And we're thinking, fucking Matt looks so fucking cool right now. Look at him over there. And we're thinking, I was like, I'm such a fan of him. Look at him right now. And it was just the coolest. Like that wouldn't happen with Longwave or Blue October, I don't think.
Right. Yeah.
And so that was a really powerful moment. And so that's the kind of thing that when we've done hot shows, sometimes those things would happen. And it happens with the other guy in the band too, whoever he is.
Yeah, there's
like the drum riser moves out onto the subs.
Yes. Moves downstage.
Starts spinning around. Drummer gets sick and pukes.
Yeah.
Because of the spinning motion.
Oh, yeah, there's some real punk rock moments in the show for sure.
I agree.
Like, there's some punk.
I agree. That's what I love about Harvard of the South, Matt, is because we don't really have any rules. We just go out there and we slam it down, you know? And at that moment, Steve, Justin's off the stage. So it's the 3 of us out there just loving life and just slaying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched Todd's videos, live stuff where I think to myself, there's a confidence or something that I hate to say it, I think it's because we're experienced or something, and I don't know, for myself, I appreciate being able just to go and do it. Yeah. And I appreciate the 3 of you guys to do it with. And so there's like I would never be nervous. I'm only enjoying myself in those moments when we're playing.
Totally.
And
super relaxed.
For me, there's something about it, Matt, too, that it's like it's just we're not tied to anything. It's just like it's just having fun. It's making music and having fun for the reasons music needs to be made. And that's what I loved about when we were recording it, when we're all in the same room.
Yeah.
Making a bunch of noise, man. And you can feel it. And you vibe off of each other. And it's a good thing.
Not being tied to a click and not being tied to in-ears can do wonders for situations like that.
Yeah,
And
man.
that's one of the things I really love about the Harvard of the South show is like throw a couple wedges and I know that every wedge that I used when we play is blown by the time we're done with it.
Yeah, because you have to get it up louder than Steve's amps.
Oh my god! Oh my god! So loud.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Or
it's
just not
so
quiet
fun.
You mean amps?
Amps.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Amps. Those amps.
So at what point, like in the process, did you guys come up with the name Harvard of the South? And was there ever other names that were thrown around?
No, there weren't.
It's still
That was the one?
It's still a sore subject for me over here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to. My apologies.
My friend came over during the first week, right? Was it the first week, Steve, when Matt wasn't even there?
I don't remember. I remember it was one of those names that stuck, and I was like, "We're never getting out of this Harvard of the South thing."
Yeah.
Steve was like, "Can we just name it Hots?"
Okay, I feel like that's why Steve's been saying Hots a lot.
Can we name it Matt Noveskey?
Yeah. My friend came over and was like, "Man, this is," for some reason he was just like, "I really dig this. You guys are in the South, and it's very smart music," which, I mean, it's smart, but I mean, I guess we didn't really put much thought into it. I don't.
Is that really what happened? I remember being drunk and we're talking about how the college in San Marcos was the Harvard of the South.
Is that what it was?
I could be wrong. I was drunk.
I remember Ron, gay Mexican Ron came over.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. He's gay Mexican Ron actually named our band, which is a good friend of mine, Ron Saucedo.
He gets credit.
He's not gay, but he is Mexican.
Okay, awesome.
Well, I mean, Steve, you half answered my question, but I want to know from the other two of you, what do you consider to be the Harvard of the South? Which school is it?
I don't consider any schools at all.
So there actually is there is a school that has been given that, I guess, that title, but I cannot for the life of me
There's
remember
a lot of
what
them
it
that
is.
are actually.
Yeah, there's
I know
a lot.
that isn't there one in particular though that
I think
I thought there was
Rice-
one in particular.
I think
Rice
Rice
is up there.
That might be it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though. I
worked
know
there.
that it is not in San Marcos. It is not in San Marcos because I've never partied so much in my life as when I hung out with people that went to school in San Marcos when I lived there. Oh wow.
It's San Marvel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was party school for sure.
All right, Matt, we'll have to save those stories for your 28th million appearance on here.
There you go.
I'd love to hear all these stories.
There's lots.
Oh man.
All right. Well,
Yes.
and so I was going to say one of the things that I really admire about the three of you is that you guys are fans of each other, and that totally shows. And I was wondering though if there is other fandoms or inspirations that the three of you guys share together as well. I know, Jeremy, you mentioned you like 90s music, and I know, Matt, in the past you've mentioned 90s music as well, for Icarus Bell.
What's his name? Allison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
But are there other bands or any things that inspire you guys collectively as a group?
Anyone? I don't think we were really thinking about that when we went for it. I think we were just there was talk of a few bands back in the day.
Yeah. I don't think it sounds like anybody, honestly. I really don't.
It was just.
It kind of sounds like Blue October and Longwave.
It's Blue Wave.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Was it
Okay.
a blue wave?
The Blue Wave. I love that. And okay, so I know, Steve, also you guys don't live in the same state. So what was the process like actually mixing this album and getting everything ready for the album to come out, being distanced?
Mixing the album, Steve. How was that?
Did we even try to have someone else mix it? I don't remember.
No.
We talked about it. No.
We sent a couple of songs. We sent All Our Ashes.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
people.
I remember that.
We sent it to Jason's brother,
Anthony Molina
Anthony Molina,
and Dwight.
and Dwight Baker. And both of them were great in their own way, but it was like when we got Steve's rough mixes of all of our stuff, we were like,
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah, I was like, thanks.
Yeah.
And then I'd get a text from Steve every now and then. He's like, help! 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 I'm in this basement all alone.
Yeah, I literally was down here all alone. It's true. Yeah. And then it's like, I had I was psyching myself out because does it need to sound like a Blue October record? Like, does it need to sound like a Longwave record? Like, not to be kind of gross about it, but does it need to be like competitive for radio? You know what I mean? Like, does the snare need to sound like a cannon, you know? And yeah, there's where I am here in this studio, there are other studios, and one guy offered to run this stuff through his desk, his mixing board. And I was like, oh, let's try that, you know, just to see. And all of this was just spinning the wheels, really. I opened up one of the sessions last year when we got the stuff ready to finally put out, and it was all this BS, just like extra plugins on the extra things and stuff that if I were to do it now, it would have been a lot simpler.
Are you saying you're down for a remix?
Yeah.
Never too late.
Give me 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did it is the short answer. But again, it was no stress really. It was, I think you guys were on tour. I would send you stuff.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
And then at some point, yeah, it was done. I think Justin. Justin's the other guy in the band, and Justin at some point was like,
okay.
Yeah, Justin said something like to the effect of, if the song is great, people are going to like it anyway. If the song is bad, people aren't going to like it anyway.
Right.
So, you know, he was very, he didn't get very nitpicky, or he didn't seem to care, to honestly. He's like, if you guys are happy, like I'm happy, I think the songs are good, which was nice. It wasn't like you guys were sending all kinds of like, can you just turn up the this and that, you know?
Right.
Not like super nitpicky. Well, so when the world does fully resume and we do get the Harvard of the South tour,
and we do the festival.
And the festival, is there a song that you guys are most looking forward to playing live?
The last one with Matt out in the crowd.
Yeah.
Would it be Heart of Stone with Matt and Steve out on the
it's Heart of Stone, yeah.
The extension risers and deep into the crowd on each side of the stage?
That was so cool, man.
The fireworks coming off of each side of the risers.
Steve gets that twinkle in his eye, look across the stage.
He's like, I'm going to be on the same bus with you later.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's how it happens. If you know, I assume you know, obviously Blue October or whatever, but I just joined their tour.
Yeah, he just jumped on the bus with us, and we bring amps from that we already have. Steve brings his guitars and a pedal board.
It's the greatest thing ever for me.
We clear out a bunk.
Our shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's on a bus, there's all these bunks where people sleep, and one of them could be could be the junk bunk, which is where people's backpacks and stuff go.
Which is where Justin's stuff goes.
Okay.
That's where I go.
Yeah.
My pillow is Matt's backpack.
Yeah.
Poor Steve is like crammed in between like everybody's shit.
All Justin's old T-shirts and.
Yeah, so it might be interesting for you to hear my experience is when I wake up on the tour, because we were driving at night, right? The Blue October tour rolls on. I wake up. The Blue October crew is sometimes already like wheeling stuff into the venue, and I am up and I'm like immediately in people's way is what I feel like. So I got to get the hell out of the way. I might go for a walk or whatever, and I just make myself scarce until, you know, midway through I hear Blue October playing their sound check. I realize I got to change my strings and get my 2 amps ready. And then I roll the 2 amps out, put my stuff on stage, and then we do our sound check, we play the show, I roll the 2 amps back, and then that's it. And so most of the time I'm staying out of people's way.
You're your own roadie. I love it.
Well, because I would be terrified of like making it harder than it has to be for the Blue October crew.
Okay.
Because already I'm taking their junk bunk.
All right. Fair enough. Well, one of the other things I wanted to ask you, Steve, was on your Instagram, it says music, recording studio stuff, and kombucha.
Yes.
So can you tell us more about your love for kombucha? I've never tried it, to be honest.
Wow.
So I know.
I'll show you the one I think you should try. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Does
I
it have
tell
a
'em the
black
only one I've
label on
ever
it?
tried kind of tasted like feet. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I understand, Danica, but look, this one here.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Synergy.
All right.
No, but there are many
Oh,
flavors. This one's
watermelon.
Watermelon Wonder.
Okay.
I kind of can't live without this. It sounds horrible, but it's very tasty.
Okay. Well,
Steve
before
doesn't do
we
drugs, Steve does kombucha.
Notice I have it at arm's length.
real quick before we learn more about kombucha, we have to say goodbye to our friend Matt, unfortunately. But
Thank
Matt,
you guys.
Love
I
you,
love
Matt.
you all. I miss you guys. I can't wait to see you and hug you.
I'll see you in San
Are you
Francisco on the
fucking
riser.
I'll see you then.
Love you, buddy.
Bye, guys. Thank you for having me.
Woo! 15 minutes turned into 40 minutes.
Yeah,
These things
yeah.
fly by so fast. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we're talking too much. Sorry.
no, this is what we're here for. Okay, so Watermelon Wonder, which is a
Oh, yeah.
great name. It sounds like an Oasis song, but okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it for you. I'll let you
Yeah.
know what I think.
Wonder Watermelon.
Do you like
Oh,
ginger?
Wonder Watermelon.
You're lucky if it only tasted like feed.
Do you like ginger?
I'm okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I like the same, whatever that brand name is,
Mm.
Synergy.
Synergy.
But there's a ginger. Is it Gingerade or ginger?
Mm.
Gingerade. Ginger. It's serious ginger.
There's also Trilogy. Basically, if you look kind of girly, that's the one you want.
Okay.
I've got
Fair.
And the ones with the black label.
That's not kombucha.
It is kombucha. It's hard kombucha. It's Synergy.
Oh.
That brand puts it out. It's got a black label, and it means it has alcohol in it.
Spicy.
Okay, that's very interesting. But Jeremy, before we go to our game, because we have a game of Would You Rather, obviously, we've seen that you've been in the process of like making drums.
Yeah.
So when did you first become interested in actually making drums? That's so crazy, but also very cool.
Man, that's been an interest for a couple years now. My drum tech and I, Charlie, have talked about making drums, but making drums where mostly wood drums where, because if you look at a piece of wood, I'm going to get a little bit weird here, but like wood has all these grains.
Wait.
Yeah, like wood, right, Steve? If you look at a piece of like sliced wood, it has all these grains and stuff. And it does its own thing. And it creates these like, I don't know, to me, it creates beautiful like swirls and all these things. So Charlie and I were talking about just making drums that promote this art that the wood makes.
I like that.
So like what
Yeah, I
a better
do
time than now than to ease into that, and I've got all the time in the world. So right now I've made a couple of snare drums, and now I'm working on a full kit or a restore of a new kit that was actually my first Blue October kit, and I have a few drums in the works for a couple of Blue October fans, but clients. Steve wants one of the big 16-inch snare drums that I'm making. And yeah, so I mean, I have a little shed in the backyard, and whenever the children allow, and it is what it is. But it's something good to keep me in the mind of drums, but also keep me in the mind of art and keep me in the mind of creating when I can't be with all my brothers on stage doing, what we want to do, what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually, this pandemic has made us become very, I don't know. We've had to come up with different ways to make ends meet, make things happen, just make art and create. So yeah, that's where we are, and I'm making some drums, and hopefully it takes it further. I'll need a larger shed for that, but
Is there
I
a
feel
type
like-
of what? Yeah, go ahead, Danica.
I just thinking, I feel like my husband is first going to want one, and then he's going to want to learn how to make them because he's also a carpenter.
there you go. Well, don't tell him how to make them. Just tell him where to get
He's
them.
going to ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a type of wood that makes the best drum?
Man, that's impossible to say because there's so many woods. I recently built wood out of mahogany that makes a sound that is ridiculous, like a ridiculous good sound, and so that's good. All woods make different sounds. Softer woods make deeper, squashier sounds, and harder woods like maple and things make harder, crackier sounds. So
That's so cool.
there's lots of other things that go involved with that as well, but
That's awesome.
I like that.
Yay! Well, okay, so we have a game that we're going to play. And Jeremy, you've gotten to play Would You Rather with us once before. This is Steve's first game of Would You Rather. There's no wrong answers. So here we go. Here is our game of Would You Rather. Danica, take it
All right.
away.
Would you rather wear matching onesies on stage or have to choose each other's outfits before performing?
Okay, what are the onesies? Can it be like a?
any onesie?
Does that have to be an animal, like a furry?
Oh, no. You could any kind of onesie.
Like
No,
remember
do like a
Pete
union
Townsend used to have,
suit?
like a boiler suit. Is that a onesie? Like a
I'm not
white?
opposed to that.
Yeah, that sounds like a onesie to me.
I'm
Yeah.
choosing-
I'm
Okay,
down
you're-
for that. Onesies.
Wow. Cool. That was
Okay.
easy.
And then you can sell onesies at the festival. Can't
There you go.
wait. All right, here's the next
All
one.
the onesies. That's what's cool.
Yay. All right. Would you rather write pirate themed music or like sea shanties, I suppose, or write sports themed music?
You tell me, Steve.
Yeah, I'll do both. I'll do either one you want. You know,
Steve will do whatever pays the bills, man.
I do music for TV commercials.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is I have no professional opinion on this one.
Have you ever written a sea shanty?
No, so maybe that one.
Okay.
Arr,
I am there.
arr.
I am there for it.
Yeah. I
Does it
love a
have
good
to
sea
hurt?
shanty. Jeremy, do you have?
Hey, man, I'm down for whatever pays the bills.
Fair enough. Okay. I love it. This is easy. All right.
But
Next
I
one.
love pirates.
Yar.
Arr.
We think it's the R, but it's really the C.
Oh,
All
yes,
right.
that's me.
Danica.
Okay. Would you rather perform a show suspended in air or perform a show surrounded by candles?
Suspended in air would be cool. I mean, it would be like in the air tonight.
Wow,
Ah,
I'd be terrified.
I
think
would be
a
too.
little
Steve.
scary.
I had to pick the candles. Although I'd be terrified of setting things on fire and knocking one over. With my,
Let me tell a little story that goes along with this. Is one time we played this show at South by Southwest, and there were we lit these candles and this tiki bar around our stage.
not us. Blue October.
No, Blue October. This was years ago, like before years. And the fire marshal came in and was like, "You got to put those candles out. There's all these palm leaves above you, blah, blah, blah." So, there were these big tall candles and the flame was down like really low. You know, those like cylinder candles that you get at the grocery store or like
Like the one in the picture there.
religious type candles. Yeah, similar. Sorry, I was waving at my daughter. She's looking out the window at me. And so I picked up the candle and I threw it to the bar manager. Like,
Lit?
yeah, it was lit, but it was halfway down the thing, and all this wax went on his silk shirt.
Oh, God.
And the fire marshal was still there. So the fire marshal thought I was trying to set this dude on fire. And so our front of house guy, because that's all we had at the time, came on. He was running monitors and front of house. He came on in my monitor. He was like, Jeremy, you need to get out the back door. The fire marshal is going to come and arrest you for throwing the candle to the dude.
Was this at what point in the show was it? Before, after, during?
This was during the show.
Oh my
Between
god.
songs. And so I split out the back door and went and hid in our van, which was blocks away. And luckily, I made it through the event without causing bodily harm or.
Is this the first time you've told anybody about this?
No.
It was him.
Yeah, I know. It may be the first time I've told anybody really publicly, but the full band knew. The venue obviously knew. I came back later because of the venue we always played at. I apologized to the dude for ruining his whatever silk shirt he had on because it was very expensive. And but I didn't get arrested, and nobody got killed or caught on fire. And
to this day, South by Southwest is still looking for the infamous candle thrower.
It was during South by Southwest, but it was off the beaten path of South by Southwest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One
Fair
of those
enough.
shows.
So did they have to finish set without you drumming?
No, it was the end of the set. It was so crowded, nobody could reach the stage. It was a tiny little bar. Nobody could reach the stage. Not even the fire marshal with his flashlight.
Oh god.
And then they were like, "Okay, you need to split, bro. We'll pack up your drum."
That's insane.
Yeah, it was cool, man. Breaking the law. So
you're gonna pick suspension, I assume. All right, fair. Okay, here's the next one. Would you rather arrive to a show by way of scooter or arrive to a show by way of hayride?
I think that's my scooter on the left right there.
Yep, sure is.
That's a 61 Vespa with a 200cc engine in it. So I think I'll go that route.
Okay.
I'll do the same because there are two of them there.
And that Steve on the right, that's Big Ron's scooter.
The red thing with the people in it?
No, the gray one. Yeah, the red thing with the people in it. That's Big Ron's scooter. Yeah, that's Big Ron's scooter on the right with the black fenders.
Ow. Oh, my jaw hurts. Okay.
Oh
All right.
my god. All right, let's move on. All right. Would you rather? Oh my. Have a music video for Harp of the South directed by Spike Jonze or directed by Hype Williams?
Is that what Spike Jonze looks like?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, I don't really care. I just want a music video directed by somebody. I mean, Bill's been doing a pretty good job, right?
Yeah, I'd say Bill is more like Spike Jonze. I mean, more than Hype Williams. I think if Hype Williams were to do a Harvard of the South video, it'd be a hell of a lot of fun.
And very expensive.
And either one would be kind of expensive.
Yeah.
More so than Bill.
Right.
Okay.
Although Bill is worth it.
Yes.
All right.
Can we get the car that goes like this?
Like the hydraulics?
Yeah.
we'll ask.
Ooh. Yeah.
Because
Fun.
that can sway us in the direction of Hype Williams.
Oh, fair enough. All right. If we get the hydraulics. All right. Here's the next one. Would you rather cover a Beach Boys song or cover a Ramones song?
Not much of a difference between the two of those.
That's a tough one, right?
I mean, Rockaway Beach is not too different from like Surfin' Safari.
Okay.
I'm
Right?
kind of down for both, really. My first real concert was the Beach Boys.
What?
Jealous.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to cover a song by either one of those dudes' bands.
Okay. Fair.
Meaning plural dudes.
Okay. Steve?
I'm good for either one too. I have an aversion to Sloop John B.
Mm.
Can't do it.
My
You
dad
don't like
used
that
to-
song. Okay.
You like that song? I'm sorry. Well, then I'll stop.
No. It's fine. I mean, it's totally fine. I'm a Pet Sounds but I don't think that song's on Pet Sounds, is it?
I think it is. I love
Is it on
Pet
Pet
Sounds, but
Yeah.
but yeah, God Only Knows and Caroline. No, beautiful songs, but yeah, that one song for whatever reason just
Well, just skip it. Just skip that one.
Yeah.
We'll
But-
do all the others.
Everyone.
Oh
fine.
boy.
Right.
Okay. Exciting.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have 2 more left.
Ooh,
Danica.
all right. Would you rather go back and attend Nirvana's Unplugged set or go back and attend Live Aid?
I think Nirvana's Unplugged set for me.
Yeah. Who Led Zeppelin? Who else is on Live Aid? Zeppelin, The Who,
Live Aid was Freddie
Queen.
Mercury. Yeah, Queen.
Queen, yeah.
Elton John. I know Run DMC. I mean, it was too many for me to even recall.
U2 there. At Live
I
Aid.
don't know.
I don't remember. I think maybe so.
Yeah, they were all there. George Michael.
That's a tough one. I might want to do the Nirvana too, just because I can imagine the spookiness
The spooky
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
and the heaviness.
knowing what we know now.
Yeah, true. And for me, Live Aid, like, what if you have to go to the bathroom?
It's like any festival. Man, one time there was this Blue October Longwave Harvard of the South festival, and you couldn't find a porta potty.
No one could even get out of the audience to go pee.
There was a fire marshal with his flashlight. It was like,
Candles everywhere.
Oh man. Oh.
Candles all over the place.
it was
Palm
horrible.
leaves, like dried palm leaves, were hanging.
Some asshole threw a fire at my silk shirt.
Oh my god.
Hey, wait.
Oh man.
This is good. This is
Yeah.
there it is. Jeremy, put it down.
Easy.
Whoa. All right. Here's the last would you rather. Would you rather do a cover song from the first band you ever saw live or write a song about your favorite movie?
Probably the cover for me.
Man, I think the cover, I mean, it was Beach Boys for me, so
There you go.
And you didn't want to immediately cover a Beach Boys song instead of the Ramones?
man, I do. Because I don't know a lot of the Ramones songs. I was never into that. I was into other stuff. My parents weren't big rockers, and I didn't have an older brother that was a little bit older than me to show me that stuff. So I was like Michael Jackson and these things like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, to write a song for the Step Brothers soundtrack.
Well, it doesn't have to be that. I mean, Boats and Hose kind of got it covered, but
Yeah, Boats and Hose.
Boats and Hose. Well, is that your favorite movie, Jeremy, or what's your favorite movie?
It's not my favorite movie. My favorite movie of all time so far, and this is creepy, is Silence of the Lambs.
Wow.
I want to hear the song "Hello, Clarice." I wait for it.
Hello, Clarice.
I want this to be on Broadway.
Do you hear the lambs screaming?
Oh, I was vibing.
Chloe remake of something with somebody else.
Okay. Steve, what about you? What's your favorite film? That's, I guess, the first
Oh,
question.
the film? Oh, I was going to pick the cover, but the film, gosh. It's like anything else. It's like, what's your favorite food? Depends on the mood you're in, right? Sometimes my favorite film could be Back to the Future.
Oh,
Sometimes it could be The Godfather. Sometimes it could be
let's see that crossover.
Star Wars. You know? Yeah.
Yeah,
to the
it's hard to pick a
Yo,
favorite.
do you hear that sound you're looking for?
Well, listen to this.
Well, listen to this.
Love it so much.
God, yeah.
Okay, so cover song from the first band you saw live. What band was that, Steve?
So I have a confession. I was an MTV hair metal kid.
Yes.
So my first concert was Cinderella with Winger and the Bullet Boys opening.
Oh shit.
I
And
would go to that now.
and
Are you kidding me?
I remember that at the Cinderella at the time, the hit song was "Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone," and it's a song, it's a ballad, and the singer Tom Kiefer came down from the ceiling, the rafters, on a white piano, like floated down on hydraulics while he's playing the opening, and he played the whole first half of the song by himself when he finally gets to the stage, the band kicks in and they play the big chorus, you know.
That's
And I was just like,
That's cool.
yeah. So yeah,
the
that would
whole
be,
band's like looking at him like, no, not yet.
yeah. So and then recently there's a new book called Nothing But a Good Time, written by a friend of mine named Tom Beaujour. He's a writer guy, but it's all about, if you're a fan, it's a really, really great, fun book called Nothing But a Good Time, after the Poison song. But it's like, it's all, what's the word? Firsthand interviews. There's no like narrator. It's just like one after another, the people talking about what happened from like late 70s LA up until, Nirvana, basically. But there is a point where Tom Kiefer from Cinderella talks about the white piano, and I was reading like, I remember, I was 10.
There.
Yeah, and apparently it cost them so much money to do that. Like, knowing what you know now as an adult, and like production costs of a tour, they didn't make any money on that tour. They were just trying to do the show, and the idea being that like if you came off bigger than you were, you might fake it till you make it kind of thing. But so yeah, the white piano, Cinderella, my first concert. I remember that the Bullet Boys opened the show, and the first song they came out and played, the singer went, 1, 2, fuck you. And I was with my dad, and I was so embarrassed that my father would have to hear that kind of language.
Oh, yeah, I took my parents.
Never heard it before.
Exactly.
I took my parents like a couple of years ago to a Motley Crue show, which was, oh my God, they loved it so much.
Was it the one with the roller coaster? Tommy?
Yeah, it was Alice Cooper and Motley Crue. Like the last time they were like, we're not a band, we're retiring, and now
The contract.
Right, the contract thing. But I'm excited to see them and Poison and Joan Jett whenever tour.
I had tickets before the shutdown. I had tickets to New York.
Did you really? Dude, I saw Motley Crue with a different singer,
John Corabi.
Yes, John Corabi, and it was right after Tommy Lee got out of jail for beating Pamela Anderson or whatever it was, and it was at a 3,000 seater in Austin. And it was an amazing concert. And then we later opened for them at like some rock festival show. And that was amazing. I mean,
he's an amazing drummer.
It's Motley Crue, right? Tommy Lee was losing his mind because he couldn't hear anything. So he was throwing sticks at anyone that was in view of him.
Right. That's too bad.
It was sad, but it was also very Motley Crue.
Yeah,
it was
throwing
very
sticks, throwing candles.
Very well been part of the act.
Yeah,
and it was cool, and I got to take a picture with Tommy and blah blah blah. But man, Motley Crue, like, what a fucking rock band! I mean, yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing.
Right, Steve?
Sorry.
Girls, girls, girls. You just sent me a tape like the other day. Steve sent me a video of a cassette tape.
I have it right here, yeah.
And it was like on his 4-track, and it was like a dub of the Girls, Girls, Girls.
Well, it turns out I had recorded over it, basically. But whenever what I did stopped, Girls, Girls, Girls would come in.
Kept going.
Remix.
It was at some point,
great rock and roll, man.
I tried to leave my roots behind, but you can take the boy out of the hair metal, but
do you really want to?
Yeah. Well, you can't take the hair metal out of the boy, is what I'm trying to say.
Hence, there's a guitar solo in every song on our album. So, fuck yeah.
Well, speaking of the album, before we do wrap this up, we just want to say the album's like anywhere music is available. Make sure you guys go check it out. You can order at bandware.com. Look at that.
Is that
fantabulous?
I'm not sure which way to go because it's opposite.
It's so, I know.
There it is right there.
So go buy yourself a copy or 2 or 3 or 5, whatever. Yeah. But before we do wrap this up, is there any final thoughts you guys want to leave us with?
Man, I'm grateful you guys had us on. It's good to see Steve. It's good to talk. It's good to just have a little normalism and talk about music. Thank you. And you know, we love y'all, and thank you. We love everybody out there, and thank you so much for your time and support.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So
Thank
sweet.
you. Oh, this is so much fun, and
Yeah,
and
it's
maybe
been
like
wonderful having you.
in the future, maybe we can get all 4 members at some point in time. You know, we'll see.
I can't even get that guy on the phone.
On some sort of open book tour right now, so you know.
Fair enough.
You know what we need to do is an 80s rock. Like, you gotta bring. If you're Jeremy down, I'm serious. I read that book recently, and I was like, I remember all this.
Yeah,
I think I'm
do it.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing over here.
We're gonna do an Harvard of the South 80s rock reunion.
Yeah, we'll do a cruise.
Oh my god!
No, I don't do cruises, bro. I don't do deep.
What?
No deep sea.
All right, it'll be acoustic. Hot's
There you
acoustic.
go.
Lots of candles. But before we do wrap this up, we have to go over our upcoming guests.
Candles, no fire marshals.
All
Great.
fire marshals.
Safe.
Peter.
So yeah, tomorrow we have Peter Noon. It's a special bonus show. He's the singer from Herman's Hermits. And then next week we have Vinny Dombrowski from Sponge. Next Thursday we have Edward Furlong from Terminator 2. Then the following Tuesday, Casey Joseph from Practical Jokers. We have Amy Yazbek from Robin Hood Men in Tights. And then we have Papa Shango and The Godfather. He's a WWE Hall of Famer starting off in May. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. We'd love to have you all back when we can find the time. And
I think I had a crush on Edward Furlong.
did you?
We toured with Sponge back in the day, and they
Did
were
you?
so sweet. Yeah, such good guys.
Oh yay! That's good.
It's the same name as my husband, so that should be fun.
Your husband's name is Sponge?
Wow.
Vinny Dombrowski.
Nice.
Your husband's name is Vinny Dombrowski?
Yeah, literally, yes.
Lucky you.
Yeah, lucky me. But all right. On that note, we appreciate you guys being here. Thanks everyone watching, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you. Much love, you guys.
Peace.